Okay, so it seems that recently there's been a little bit of an update with the whole Blue Archive situation. Now, if you don't know, we've covered this quite a bit in terms of the VTubing side of things, as there was a lot of drama behind it last time. But essentially, recently, Blue Archive announced that they would be working with Remillion Nefis of not Blue Archive, of FaZe Connect, and they put this here saying a mysterious guest is joining CMRC's next Blue Archive live stream. Could this be a dream come true, Sensei? Keep an eye out for the reveal later this week. And yeah, it seems like they've been working with a lot more VTubers now, ever since the last incident that happened. Now, if you guys want a little bit of a recap of what happened last time, essentially there was a Blue Archive sponsor which was supposed to be going on, which this was the thing here, saying Summer Sky's Promise, saying watch to get Twitch drops. And yeah, it seems like they will be streaming the game, and it included content creators such as Giguk, Zantrea, cdawgva, and ironmouse. Obviously 2 VTubers, 2 IRL streamers, right? And essentially this ended up getting cancelled, right? This ended up getting not done. Everybody involved in this didn't actually get a they didn't get their sponsor or whatever. And that was about it, right? Because of a lot of backlash of people over on Twitter and stuff that weren't happy with some of the views of these people in regards to things like, lollies and stuff. Now, if you don't know, Blue Archive does feature a lot of those kind of characters. So obviously the fan base is going to be very unhappy with people that don't like those characters coming into a game that heavily uses them, right? And I think that does kind of make sense. Now, I do think it was mainly people like cdawgva that were the ones that were, saying all of this kind of stuff. I don't really think Giguk, Zantrea, or ironmouse really had too much to say about, those kind of characters and things like that. But cdawgva obviously has talked about things, especially on his podcast and stuff, with Giguk, of course. But it has mainly been him saying that. So that is what kind of got people so upset, and people started sharing clips and whatever of him, disliking this kind of stuff. Yeah, this ended up getting people not so happy on Twitter. They ended up, obviously making a lot of posts, contacting Blue Archive, directly or even indirectly through these posts. And yeah, obviously they listened and they ended up cancelling the entire event over it, which obviously surprised a lot of people because, again, it is quite rare that happens. And of course, it is understandable to see why they did hire these people, because of course they are all huge content creators in a pretty similar niche, right? Of course, Giguk and cdawgva, they do like more anime style stuff. Now, Giguk obviously does more anime stuff. cdawgva does a bit more gaming stuff, but obviously they're both huge creators, right? The same with Zantrea and ironmouse too. They're huge creators too. So again, you can see why they would do it, because it's going to get them a lot of attention. But of course, yeah, he said apparently the streamers called players PDFs. Now again, I haven't seen the clip of that happening, but again, obviously that's what people have been claiming. And then of course, they have this tweet here saying, "Hello Sensei, this is Blue Archive. We sincerely apologize for any confusion and concern caused by the Blue Archive influencer campaign. So we take the valuable feedback you have shared with us very seriously, and after internal review and discussion, we've decided not to proceed with this influencer campaign." So yeah, they ended up just like completely dropping it and not working with them. And then it was pretty silent for a little while. And then obviously we started to get a couple more streams now with VTubers and, content creators again. They did a couple of other ones as well. I don't know how far back it was. So I don't know if I'll be able to find it or not, with a couple of other VTubers and stuff. So again, it seems like they're starting to warm up to the idea of working with content creators again, but just kind of, figuring out their past, right? Well, not their past, but you get what I mean. They do a little bit of research on who the content creator is, what their kind of opinions on stuff within the game are, and then I think they, either give it the green light or the red light, depending on that, right? But I think that is obviously the best way to go with it, because it aligns with the audience, and of course the audience of the streamer is probably going to, be much more receptive to the game than maybe, a streamer that may be big, but obviously the audience doesn't like some of the natures in the game, right? So of course, they're not going to download it if they don't like it, right? So I think that is something that maybe they have considered, because, you can be a big streamer, but sometimes a game isn't just for your audience, right? So it's just like one of those things, right? People were saying, Remy, ton of FaZe Connect, people were saying, holy crap, congrats to BA's biggest fan. And yeah, I think she is a big fan of Blue Archive as well, as I've seen a lot on her Twitter, posted and saying, let's go, Remy. Yeah, I said hello. I said, let's go. And as I said, it seems like they are like, picking out people who are like clearly fans of the game and stuff, which I think is really cool to see. They did that last time as well. So hopefully, they can continue doing that and, pick out people who truly love the game, because of course it's going to create a much more of a connection with, fans and people that want to play it or potentially get into it. Rather than having obviously some random person who maybe doesn't know anything about the game. But obviously these are streams with a host and stuff like that, whereas this one is a little bit different just due to the fact of I think they were just streaming the game and doing Twitch drops, so that is slightly different. But of course it does seem like still they're taking on sponsorships and things like that, which is cool to see. Obviously a lot of people have been discussing it as well, saying Remilia Nefes from FaZe Connect will be collabing with Blue Archive CMRC, and yeah, obviously they put that there. So here's a tweet saying she's the second VTuber collab after Mint, which yeah, obviously whereas Mint's mama, VTuber mama Ayami is the artist for Shimiko, Rami's mama Biu is the artist for Ibuki. So it seems like they've worked with their artists before, like Blue Archive have. So again, that's cool. That's actually a cool bit of information, to be fair. So Mint and RC was really cute. So I have high hopes for this one. Said Mint shows a base. Said they told me stories about people like you. So yeah, obviously it went so well with Mint last time. Like, I'm so glad for Wemi. She deserves the honor of showing her cafe to RC. It's not that bad, I trust. So again, I haven't actually watched, I didn't watch the Mint stream last time, so I'm unsure on what they actually get up to, but it seems like they've been showing them around their own like game and things, which I think is pretty cool. Showing it to everybody else and just kind of showing it off, right? That's something that I would really like to do, just like showing off your like gacha base that you just built up over like the course of the past couple of years or so. That would be insane, like being able to show it to such a large audience. But of course, I guess that's the average day for a gacha streamer, right? But at the end of the day, it's cool because you're going to be on the official, I'm pretty sure it's on the official Blue Archive channel or whatever you want to call it. I assume they do that kind of stuff. So again, obviously keep an eye out for that. But it is really big news, right? And it's also really big news for FaZe Connect too, because obviously it means they're going to get a lot more recognition too, from them being on there. So again, Remilia will be on the live stream representing FaZe Connect. So maybe that means that FaZe Connect could get more opportunities like this in the future with other gacha companies, or maybe with Blue Archive as well. We'll have to see, but it seems like a lot of people within FaZe Connect are very supportive of this. As we said, Lumi, Jelly Hoshiyumi as well, both supporting her, which obviously is great to see. So yeah, I mean, that is essentially it. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of context as to, what has happened before with Blue Archive and why this is a topic that has been so popular, not just due to the fact that Remilia will be featuring on this stream, but also due to the fact of what happened last time, right? Of what happened last time they tried to do a collaboration before Mint, obviously. It didn't turn out so well, but it seems that things are going a little bit better this time, and they're picking some really good people to go on their stream, and hopefully it all goes well for them. But yeah, that's what I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.